It's your host, Kimberly. Welcome to this week's chat. My focus in school has always been on genetics, with the idea that with that knowledge, I could eventually get into the field of stem cell research, where my real passion lies. In that vein, I wanted to start with some simple cell biology to get us started with this chapter in the series. So let's start at the beginning. What is a cell? Cells are microscopic building blocks of life. The dictionary defines a cell as the smallest structural and functional unit of an organism, typically microscopic and consisting of cytoplasm and a nucleus enclosed in a membrane. Microscopic organisms typically consist of a single cell, which is either eukaryotic or prokaryotic. The membrane, it does allow for nutrients to pass within the cell into the cytoplasm, as well as allowing waste to be expelled. Most people will remember looking at onion slices under a microscope. These are typically looked at so that you can see the different stages of mitosis, which is something that we'll definitely get into later. It also allows us to see the structure of a plant cell, which is much like an animal cell, but it also includes a cell wall. And if you remember doing it, if you remember looking at the onion slices, you'll remember that each of the cells were typically rectangular in shape, and like I said, you could see this in the middle of each of the cells. You could see little circles where the nucleus was, with the chromosomes all lined up in varying stages of mitosis. So, let's take a look at the actual inside of the cell next. Now, what structures are within the cell? What are their purpose? Most of the structures within the cell are labeled as organelles, which means little organs. So let's start first and foremost with the nucleus. The nucleus is kind of like the brain of the cell. It's typically enclosed in a membrane, and it carries your deoxyribonucleic acid, or DNA, as well as your ribonucleic acid, or your RNA, and the ribosomes. These structures within the nucleus actually help to determine how the cell will be formed, as well as its function, which is why the nucleus is kind of considered the brain of the cell. Outside of the nucleus, we have all of the other organelles, more ribosomes, the Golgi apparatus, endoplasmic reticulum, lysosomes, and the mitochondria. So, the next question is, what do these little organs do? Let's take a look. Now, this next portion is a bit of an experiment, so hopefully this works. Okay, so to start, we have mitochondria. Mitochondria is known as the powerhouse of the cell. It produces energy for the cell through cellular respiration. The Golgi apparatus here, it assists in the modification and transportation of proteins within the cell. You have the endoplasmic reticulum here. It's a system of interconnected vascular cytoplasmic membranes that help transport materials within the cell. There is both smooth endoplasmic reticulum here and rough endoplasmic reticulum here. The rough endoplasmic reticulum is considered rough because it's coated with additional ribosomes. Now, ribosomes, which you can see are these little dots here, and you can kind of see here, all these little dots, are RNA-rich granules within the cytoplasm that are sites of protein synthesis. Next, you have your lysosome. Here's an example of that. And these are organelles that contain hydrolytic enzymes. These hydrolytic enzymes are basically enzymes that use water to help break down different substances. All right, fantastic. So now you were able to see the different structures within the cell, the different organelles, with kind of getting an idea of what they look like and what their function is. So that's going to do it today for just the basic structure of the cell. Next time, I definitely want to look at the different functions of each of the organelles more in depth. So if you like this video, be sure to subscribe and share it with all of your friends. All right, thanks.